Hi, welcome to Quiltinator.com. I'm Michelle Johnson. I'd love to share with you a quilting method that I just learned. It's called the zigzag quilt. My friend Melba taught this class and made this sample for us. It's a baby quilt. And this is her actual design wall and her samples that we're going to be using. I'd like to do a close-up of her little mousse fabrics. And that way you can kind of see how she stitched it and how just adorable this is. You can make this in several sizes. I'm going to demonstrate for you a baby quilt size, but on the directions on the little box on the bottom, the description box, I'm going to put in the fabrics and things that you'll need, the amounts, so that way you can make one that's about 40 by 60. You can always, add more and make it larger. These are the two color, of course. I'm going to change this out in just a second and leave half of it red. And then I'm going to put on another piece so you can see what it'll look like in 3 different colors, if that's the look you're going for and what you might like. So I'll be back in just a second. In the previous section, I just explained I was going to have the 3 color and then have a 2 color separation. And if you're watching this for a second time, you will know that I had done that. But I've realized a couple of things that needed to be changed and explained to you differently. And if this is the first time you're watching, I'm going to go ahead and give you the instructions, and that way you'll learn along with us. This block was constructed with 2 3-inch strips. So each 3-inch strip section, you should be able to get about 7 blocks for this, if you use this size. So measure across once you iron it, and whatever way you iron it the same way. Towards the focus fabric, towards the dark, towards the light. If you're pressing them open, press them the same way each time. Measure across whatever you measure. If this ideally should be 5.5 inches, but if it's 5 1/4, 5 3/4, that's what you're going to cut. And then you will be left with a block that should be square. This is 5.5 inches. And then you're going to sew them together in twosies. And this one was done horizontally and then vertically. But if you'll see on this one, the second section, so it's still horizontal and vertical, it's just these are swapped. So horizontal, vertical. Still horizontal and vertical, it's just the 2 different colors. Since this is a 3 color, or 3 different colors, since it's a 3 color block. And you could do multiple colors in this. I'm not sure how the checkpoints would be for a multicolored, but I'm thinking they probably should be the same way here along the bottom, which this 2 is the same all across the bottom. And that's your checkpoint. And then your second checkpoint is to be able to make sure everything lines up. Find the center seam for each. And these are always done in increments of 2. So if you're going up to 20, it goes up to 2, and then you're going to decrease by increments of 2 going across the other way. And the top does not line up all the way down exactly the same. Here it does every other one because this is a 3 color. So the same, but not, and not. This does, however, line up across the top the same. So this block can be really any size, whatever strip set. If you wanted to do jelly rolls, just do your seam allowance and make sure you measure across and then cut that same thing. So if you're doing 5-inch strips, if you're doing 10-inch strips, just make sure that they line up And then these are the same all the way across. This is what it's going to look like without a border. This is not finished, but that gives you an idea of what it would look like with just one border. And I'm doing kind of heavier quilting here around the border, and then it kind of gives it a trapunto look here in the center because I just did in the ditch seaming. And then two colors, or two color border for a two color quilt. So the next section, I'm going to show you how to straighten everything up. Okay, so now you're done with your zigzag quilt. How do you get the edges straight? Because now you have beautiful angled edges. If you want angled edges, you're just going to want to make bias binding and put that around your blocks. Remember to be careful here in the little corner points. If you want a straight edge, you just get a straight edge ruler, and then you're going to look at your blocks and you're going to see the pattern piece, and you're going to take your 1/4 inch and lay that 1/4 inch line right on that little, on this piece, not where this one is. And if it's done right, hopefully you will bisect each of these blocks. And this is how you would do it if you're making one piece, like a baby blanket, or if you want to just do a full quilt. I'm going to actually show you in the next lesson how to do a quilt as you go with the flip and stitch method, and I think that's the most common, so you'll probably already know how to do it. And I'm Michelle Johnson. This is Quiltinator.com, and I'm getting back to quilting. Thanks for watching.